Well, hello there, vinyl community, or the 10 to 15 regular viewers of this channel. It's Jacob coming to you again from the Dallas Open Micer YouTube channel. It's 2024 now. The vinyl tag is in full swing, but I don't yet have both feet fully planted in the new year. I was working on the thread for the vinyl Scavenger, talk about record collecting rabbit holes, and I got interrupted by some late year illness, and I'm getting over that right now. And I thought before I move on to 2024, I thought I'd finish the old year off right. Let's do take two on the end of 2023. So what I'm working on is the Martin's thread, the vinyl Scavenger. I want to talk about some more record collecting rabbit holes, and I thought I'd overlap that thread with a record haul. So let's see what rabbit holes I can bring up. Well, here's one. Rabbit hole number one for this video is you learn the surrounding areas, record stores or shops where you can find records, the bookstores, the antique malls, things like that. And so if you're ever in one of these areas, we got a kink in the neck, you can make a point of visiting these locations without having to make a special trip to go out there. That can be very inconvenient. So one of these record shops is the bookstore, Recycled Books and Records in Denton. And the missus and I had plans to go up to Denton on December 10th. And we were going to go see the Two-Bit Swing Band, a great country music outfit that blends in jazz with their performances. And they're based out of Denton. And what else is in Denton? Recycled Books and Records. Now, here's another rabbit hole you need to know about is, when you are a male record collector, usually if you're in a relationship or married, your significant other probably doesn't share your same level of interest in record collecting and digging as you. Not being sexist, I'm just, how many of you gentlemen have wives that say, hey honey, let's go digging? It's not all that common. So you have to figure out ways to keep your woman occupied while you're digging. And what's neat about this little spot in Denton? It's a bookstore, and my wife is literate, so I can look for records, and she can look for books. So I thought I'd share what she found while I was looking for records. Here's one, Portraits for Life, Ford Maddox Ford, and this was written in the late 30s, and it has just such an incredible description here. I can't not share it. 11 titans of literature are described and appraised in this distinguished and original book by one who knew them all. This is the way biographies should be: pungent, intimate, slightly satirical, and completely illuminating. To read this book is to know these men better than they knew themselves. It's laying it on a bit thick, isn't it? But and I don't know if you were to read this, if you would know Henry James better than he knew himself. It's a tall order to fill, but if you want to give it a try, you could open this book. If you want, a pungent encounter with D.H. Lawrence, this could be the book for you. Or you want an intimate knowledge of W.H. Hudson. There you go. That book could be worth its weight in gold. Here we have a George Orwell pocket paperback, The Road to Wigan Pier. This is your socialist George Orwell here in action, and it's the delightful pocket paperback that comes with delightful pocket paperback odors. That's pungent right there. That's kind of pungent I like. That's one of the greatest smells on earth. Now, not all pocket paperbacks are good for sniff, and I prefer to sniff 50s and 60s paperbacks. But this looks like a 70s paperback, the Midwich Cuckoos, and I don't. You just know by looking at this that in the feel of this book, it's not good sniffing, but. There you go. That kept my wife occupied while I was digging for records. And when you go into recycled books and records in Denton, they have their clearance boxes or reduced priced records right there in the front of the store when you walk in. And here's the first one I found. Mac Wiseman. This is Mac Wiseman doing some gospel numbers, and so. What rabbit hole could we be talking about here with Mac Wiseman? Well, my country music rabbit hole is one for starters. Mac was a country and bluegrass guitar player, and the guitar player part, it's been a big rabbit hole for me in the past year or so, is seeking out good guitar music that's not necessarily hard rock. I grew up in that generation that was raised to believe that Jimi Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen were the gold standard for hard rock music, or for guitar players, and they were very good. But there's so much more to guitar music than hard rock and country music and jazz. Had some great guitar playing. Mac Wiseman played with the Foggy Mountain Boys back in the early days, and he also played with Bill Monroe as well. So he was in the he was in a couple of A-list bluegrass outfits, and then had quite a lengthy career of his own as a solo artist. So there's a good rabbit hole record for you right there, Martin. Now we got some more great guitar playing showing up on this classic country record, Fair and Young. This is Fair and Young. It's like Capitol like to do the "this is," so Fair and Young helped Willie Nelson out early in his career with the recording of "Hello Walls." This is an excellent minus, or was an excellent minus record at one point. This illustration looks nothing like Fair and Young. Here's something that's quite interesting. The rabbit hole is just appreciating things that you find on records, and you don't always understand what you find. These look like nails, and looks like side one has longer nails than side two. I don't know what that means. Perhaps the long nails are the songs that the person that drew the nails liked the most. But some great guitar playing on here. We have Buddy Emmons. I learned on the archives for the Steel Guitar Forum that something Buddy Emmons himself wrote back in around 2000 was that this Don Gibson cover here, "Sweet Dreams," was the first recording that Buddy Emmons made with Fair and Young as a session musician. So Buddy Emmons plays on this record, as does another pedal steel guitar player from Ray Price's band, Jimmy Day. Jimmy Day plays on here as well. Of course, Jimmy Day was also in the band The Offenders with Willie Nelson and Johnny Bush. So that was neat. and not sure what track he appears on, but Hank Garland is also on this record as well. It's very hard to find credits for these 50s country recordings, but when you do find some good information, it's a feast. Some more guitar playing that's not rock and roll. Kenny Burrell, Ode to 52nd Street, some good cheap jazz music. Now, side one has this suite for guitar that starts off very strings heavy, but then this picks up quite nicely as the record goes on. And then side two, we have more self-contained jazz pieces. And so this record here, it's kind of like a Rhapsody in Blue, where you're hearing the sound of the city and the music. Kenny Burrell, great jazz guitar player. Here's a record I bought hoping to hear maybe Hank Garland or someone on there. He had been recording with Don Gibson around this time. But we have a living stereo. That's a great rabbit hole to go down, because these can be just fantastic sounding records. Don Gibson is not my favorite country artist, but very fine voice. There's that Sweet Dreams song that appeared on that Fair and Young record. And the style of music on this record's all over the map, but it was a lot of fun to listen to, largely because of the sonics with the living stereo. There's a number here, The World is Waiting for the Sunrise, that I knew from Les Paul and Mary Ford. And this is a much slowed down take of the song on the song, but there is just a knockout guitar solo on there that was a great joy to listen to. I don't know how much I'll listen to that record, but sure was a lot of fun first couple of plays. Here's a rabbit hole again. I got Ray Price, and back to Buddy Emmons was the name that attracted me to this record. These bargain records, they do start to add up, and they take up space on the shelves, so you do need to be a little selective when you purchase cheap records. But Ray Price was a great honky-tonk country artist who went countrypolitan. And what we have here is a bit of a return to that honky-tonk sound. It's an 80s update, but this Step One Records label put out by Ray Pennington. I have one of his Ray Pennington recorded with Buddy Emmons, and they did some their own spin on big band songs, and they really try to liven things up here for Ray Price on this record, and draw him out of that countrypolitan world. And sounds like Ray's having a good time on here. The song Take Back Your Old Love Letters, Ray does sound like an old man singing this, but it sounds like an old man having a good time singing that song. Here we have another one on Step One. First listen to this, I didn't enjoy it as much as the last one, but anyway, happy to have that. Here's one, bumped the tripod. Here's one I could have skipped. Ray Price, 1983, Master of the Art. Nice cover. Looks like Ray's an oil baron or something here that has a mighty fine art collection. And, that's a fun cover around the same time as the Step One, but this is not Step One. This is Viva out of Canada here. And there's a song on here called Willie Write Me a Song. Sounds kind of desperate, doesn't it? Willie Nelson, of course, played with Ray Price's Cherokee Cowboys. Willie was the bassist in the band for a while in the 1960s, and went on to bigger and better things, I suppose. But Ray, Ray had a good run with that Nightlife song back in the early 60s, and recognized Willie's talent from pretty early on. Anyway, I don't think that lack of access to Willie Nelson songs was the problem. Is Ray could have done a whole album of Willie Nelson covers instead of doing this. Willie write me a song. This would have been a much better record if he had done that. Well, let's leave our country music behind here. We got Ethel Waters. My goodness gracious. This is a wonderful 2-disc Columbia set here. And it's got notes for the radio programmers. And so this is Ethel Waters in the 20s and 30s. And what notes did I write here? She recorded a song called West End Blues that I knew from Louis Armstrong, and the lyrics to West End Blues were by Clarence Williams, who plays piano on this recording here from 1928, and pardon my itchy nose, Clarence Williams was also in the record business, and he in 1933 may have written or gotten a hold of the copyright, which gave him songwriting credits for a song called "My Bucket's Got a Hole in It" that went on to become a 1949 hit for Hank Williams, so this. Unlike the Fair and Young record, 1950s recordings, jazz recording sessions are usually very well documented, and there are some great names that come up here on piano in these 1920s recordings. We have James P. Johnson, the stride piano player, on piano for these Columbia sessions from 1926, 1928. Fantastic. And then some of these later recordings here from the early 30s, we get names popping up like Benny Goodman, Charlie and Jack Teagarden, Joe Venuti, Eddie Lang, I think, as well, the Dorsey brothers. The big band world as well. What a lot of fun this was, in great shape. Some more country. The Delmore Brothers. This is Weary Lonesome Blues, Volume 1 here, and it's on the old Homestead label. Very nice sounding reproductions of, I don't know if they probably just sourced these directly from 78s, but nice sounding mono reproductions. Jimmy Skinner, a 1957 or 58 record from Mercury, and there's a song on here, I Found My Girl in the USA. It's like an answer song to a Filipino Baby and Fraulein. The song's about servicemen finding love overseas, and Jimmy Skinner's now I found my girl in the USA. Now Wikipedia says that these folks at Mercury were trying to corrupt his sound and make him more commercial, and says that he parted ways with them over that, and signed with good old Starday. I don't have any of his Starday records or record, but this was a lot of fun, and a couple of Jimmy Skinner records now, and looking forward to getting more. Got Jeannie C. Riley from 1976, and this one was a bit of an oddity. It's on the Plantation Records, and look at what it says here on the back. Jeannie C. Riley. And then there's a track list, some track listings, but it's obviously not enough music to fill a whole album. And it says, and others. So what you get on here is these songs that are listed are Jeannie C. Riley singing the songs on side 1. And then side 2, unlisted, is a singer by the name of Rita Remington. Now, there's a song on here that has just, it has a lyric. I listened to this, and Rita Remington sounds nice. She sounds like, a slightly more high-pitched Jeannie C. Riley. And the recording quality on this was not great. The production, it just sounds murky, but if you see this cheap, it's a fun listen. Jeannie does Before the Next Teardrop Falls. It's not an inspired performance, but I do believe that song's better done by a woman than a man. But there's a song on here called I Can't Put My Arms Around a Memory. And listen to this lyric that came from this song. Memories are plague vaccines from broken dreams that add to misery. I'll read that again. It's that bad. Memories are plague, or maybe it's so good it's bad. It's so unusual, it's memorable. Memories are plague vaccines from broken dreams that add to misery. I can't put my arms around a memory, not to be confused with the jazz song. All right, what do we have next? Let's round this round. Oh, good. I'm never going to get to the end of this. Sunny Side of Life, the Blue Sky Boys. Oh, there was an incredible liner note to read here. So this is a rabbit hole. Rounder Records, if you see them cheap, get them. So this is probably a late 70s release. 1985. Let's see what the Blue Sky Boys wrote for this release from Rounder. We wouldn't care to express our views on present folk artists or country and western artists, as they're now called. Probably the reader would think we are practicing the doctrine of sour grapes, or that we are eccentric. However, as far as we are concerned, true folk music is a thing of the past. The simplicity that made folk music great is no longer there. The distinctive styles of singing and instrumentation are a lost art. Individualism has been replaced by conformity. Individualism has been replaced by conformity. May God bless you is our prayer and our wish. Sincerely, the Blue Sky Boys. I'll speed this up. Floyd Tillman compilation. Doing his hits. Not a great sounding record. A clean copy there of early Kitty Wells. A great sounding record here. This is Rose Maddox doing some gospel stuff. She's not doing her novelty singing with the, braying donkey-like sounds that she could make. This is a nice Columbia 6i. Good stuff. And some cheap jazz in the rabbit hole. And one of the fun things about finding records is, it gives you a little bit of there's a connection to the past here. So this is a 1958 recording. And what does Ahmad Jamal record? That was going around, popular listen at the time. Side 1 starts with Taboo, the Arthur Lyman Exotica. Arthur Lyman didn't write the song, but he had the big hit with it in the late 50s. That starts out here, track 1. So we have a small group with Amat Jamal performing Taboo. So, nice small group jazz doing Exotica. And then we get into Should I? Herb Brown, Arthur Freed. I did see a horrible clip on Larry King, Shirley Temple, talking about an encounter she had with Arthur Freed when she was 12 years old, absolutely horrifying what she had to say. We got Stomping at the Savoy, The Girl Next Door, I Wish I Knew. So that Taboo was a fun track to have on there, and it was a delightful surprise. And that's another 25-minute video from me. What I'll do next is, I went back. After seeing the 2-Bit Swing Band. See, I mentioned earlier in the video, these were just the clearance records that were in front. I thought, since we're in Denton, might need to go back and look for more records. And that's what I did. And I'll show you those in the next video, if you care to watch. If you missed my last rabbit hole video, I'll put it up here for you. Thank you.